I just wanted to talk a little bit this morning about what I've been learning as I studied through the last of John 13. And I know it really struck me yesterday because when Jesus says, love one another as I have loved you, before he talked about that, he said, my children, I will be with you only for a little longer. And it just really struck me what it probably felt like for the disciples to be around Jesus and the kind of love that they probably were experiencing there, and probably a kind of love that they hadn't had before, something that was more consistent, something, probably other people had let them down, there had been hurts, and then you have Jesus, and it just probably felt like, man, this is what I need, this is what I've always been looking for. And then they find out, or they will find out as they go through here, that Jesus is going to leave them. And so that's why I think it's so significant that Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. Because he's like, I'm not going to be here physically, so you've got to provide that for other people. And what's interesting is after that, Peter says, oh, I'm going to follow you anywhere, Jesus. I'm going to go. I'm going to lay down my life for you. And if Jesus is like, no, you're going to betray me. And, we a lot of times we can't follow through. We have a hard time being for others what we need to be. We do let them down sometimes. And yet, as Peter matured and understood more about the love of Jesus later in his life, when he wrote 1 Peter, he said things like, the end of all things is near. And he said, therefore, love one another deeply. Because love covers over a multitude of sins. In fact, he says, above all, love one another deeply. And so I think he's beginning to see he's beginning to grasp more of what it means and what Jesus, the kind of love that Jesus has and what we can be for one another. And he goes on to talk about practicing hospitality and for those who are elders, overseeing the flock. And so it's a very practical, hands-on kind of love. And so those are just some things I'm thinking about. I think even though it's so easy to feel alone in this world, we just got to keep on trying and pushing through and being hands-on and really trying to love as Jesus loved us.